Lord forgive me for this trap shit. Sergeant Smack make it backflip. Telly Hank with the action. With the vital speaking Spanish. Frank Matthews how I vanish. Poof. Came back like I'm King Tut. Gold BBS is on a beamer. When Fat Cat was 10 queens up. Ball off the profit, not the re-up. Fly like Puerto Rican Jesus. Uptown like I'm Baby May. Just caught a touchdown from the Bay.
We're putting everything on problem right now, man. Everything on problem.
Put the house on that baby.
Say this.
Police released photos of 3 vehicles spotted near the scene of a double murder last night. Now, 2 men were shot and killed behind the Taco Bell on Ponce. Authorities think all 3 of these vehicles may be linked to the crime. They're looking for a newer model, dark-colored Dodge Durango, a gray Chevy Trailblazer, and a red or maroon Hyundai Tucson. Police say a passenger in one of those vehicles opened fire. 2 men were killed. A car full of people in the drive-thru were also shot up, but fortunately, no one in that car was hurt.
Get out of this county or expect to start seeing sentences that go life plus. Because I am not going to negotiate with gang members. I am not going to allow pleas. We are going to find you. We are going to convince you. And we're going to send you to the prison for the rest of your days. And I'm not apologizing for that.
It was the scene of the 2019 gang-related murder of Chad Billingsley.
He was a fixture out there in the neighborhood, also a father to several children.
Caught on camera, says DA's investigator Marissa Viverito, who says she worked with Woolfolk as he used crime data, link analysis by gang experts, and other intelligence to scientifically select that part of Boulevard for the first night of heat wave.
I can't even hit that block, this shit got out of control. We gon' pull up in that rental car, no hot box. See how the hell had it. Now your family wants some justice, screaming why that happened. Shit. I'm with R5. Who outside? Make that stick rise. We on Uptown. Now your mama crying, cause her son dying. All these bullets flying. What you saying if it ain't no op, pet don't roll? Nigga mention me on
That's where 2 men were killed in an overnight shooting.
Yeah, that shooting happened on Parkway Drive late Sunday night. Police say the gunman fired from a black SUV. And Good Day's Mark Teigner has the latest on this investigation. He joins us live this morning from Atlanta Police Headquarters. Mark, good morning.
Well, good morning to both of you. And because this particular crime actually took place in the back of a fast food parking lot, police are hoping that surveillance video will help identify the gunman.
They found 2 males who were shot.
The gunfire rang out late Sunday night here on Parkway Drive, just behind the Taco Bell on northeast Atlanta's Ponce de Leon. 2 men were hit. One victim was in his 40s, the other about 30 years old. Neither survived.
Once they transported one of the males to the hospital, he was pronounced deceased from gunshot wounds. The other male who was shot in the parking lot here was deceased on scene.
Police are now looking for a black SUV. They say it pulled up to the victims. A conversation began and then the bullets started to fly.
It was a very short verbal exchange. We don't know what the argument was about or what the altercation was about. It appeared friendly conversation at first, and then gunshots erupted.
Detectives tell us several shots were fired, not all of them hitting the intended targets.
We had at least one other vehicle that was struck and damaged, but none of the occupants were injured, so we will be speaking with those occupants.
Investigators are also trying to determine if the victims might have fired back at the people in the SUV.
We've recovered one gun on scene. It does not appear that gun fired many rounds at all, if any.
Well, the other vehicle, the one hit by the stray bullets, actually had Georgia State and Georgia Tech students inside. Luckily, again, they were not injured. Police describing them as just being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Reporting live from Atlanta Police Headquarters in downtown, I'm Mark Teigner for Good Day.
Come on, we up here with man. Why did we up here with? Why did? Yeah. Mama get the tripping. Yeah. Mama get the tripping. Mama get the tripping. Mama get the tripping. No,
That's right. We're at the Citgo gas station on Moreland Avenue, right near the I-285 entrance ramp, and that's where a man has been shot dead. He was actually right near that car that you're looking at that has got bullet riddles all around it. At least 20 shots fired, told by police. The man they describe as in his late 30s. His family tells us he actually is 39 years old. In fact, they identify him as Jovan Ladson. They say that he leaves behind a 1-year-old son. We talked with his wife, as you can imagine, simply heartbroken by what happened. Now, according to police, it was about 1 o'clock this morning when the shots rang out at this gas station. Unfortunately, no one saw the shooting. Some folks did hear it, so they don't have a good suspect description. They do know that they might be looking for a blue vehicle, but that's about it. Again, this is simply heartbreaking when you hear the anguish that this wife is going through.
That's all I got. That's my best friend. Whoever did it, please turn yourself in. Like, he was such a good man. Please turn yourself in. He didn't do nothing to nobody.
Yeah, she has no idea why someone would target her husband. She did say that she got a text from him just minutes before police say this shooting took place. We're going to tell you what that text is a little later on in Good Day. But again, at this point, police hoping to be able to find the people responsible. All they have to go on right now is a blue vehicle. They're hoping surveillance video will help them get an awful lot more answers. Reporting live from DeKalb County, I'm Mark Teichner for Good Day Atlanta.
So they say violent crime is actually declining in the city. This is Operation Heatwave, has been in Atlanta. Atlanta police mission over the summer to crack down on criminal street gang activity. Officials say that there has been a reduction in homicides, aggravated assaults, and shootings.
Atlanta homicides are down by 29%. That's not just a number. That's a lot of people that get to have Thanksgiving dinner this year with their family. A lot of fathers that get to raise their children and make this society better. And it is a huge accomplishment, and we owe gratitude to the Atlanta Police Department and these partners for doing this work.
A survey would show that alarmingly homicide rates have risen an average of 17% in 50 of the most populated United States cities between what they would call quarter one of 2020 and quarter one of 2022, with this specific survey showing that the numbers were still rising. Not too many places was affected more by this than the city of Atlanta. Well, only two, New Orleans and Cincinnati, according to another study released in 2022 done by Wallet Hub. In an article written right around this time last year on Fox 5 Atlanta, detailing how homicides in the city have risen for a third consecutive year. It would boast towards the end of the article that the homicide rate in the city had increased by a staggering 60% just from 2019 to 2020. And just as it looked like crime was about to overrun the city, looking just those few years back, I could name just two things that would dramatically change that, kind of like or similar to the change that the murder of Officer Edward Burns in 1988 in Queens would have on the crack game, with one of those things being very obvious, with her coming into office vowing to end crime and eliminate street gangs in the city of Atlanta, and what at first, and still kind of a little bit, looked like a war on rap, with her locking up some of the city's top artists, who just happens to be the first woman elected to the position of District Attorney of Fulton County, Fannie Willis, with the other being a crime strategy taken on by the city that I'm not sure if she started, but I'm 100% positive she's behind, which is vaguely described as a 6-week crackdown where officers would be in areas known for high weapon offenses and gang and drug activity, coincidentally titled Operation Heatwave, which is exactly the web that the Pluto Management / Duct Tape Entertainment artist that we're covering today, Mikel or Mikel, ProblemChild5, Gunn, just happens to be caught in the middle of, who is alleged to be a member of Atlanta's notorious homicide gang, or as some would say, the Fox 5 gang. Problem, who had been co-signed as well as supported and featured alongside some of the biggest artists the city has ever seen, like Future, when the two would team up on a song titled Sticks Up, or even the city's most wanted, Young Thug, with the two collaborating on a song about 3 years ago titled The Thule. So with that phantom gang indictment list that had been floating around on the internet about a year or so ago, and even deeper, the rumors that would speculate from that so-called list that had people racing online to say that Lil Baby and 4PF and even the gang that ProblemChild5 is alleged to be associated with, homicide, to be targeted. Those rumors would seem to be substantiated when Atlanta crime journalist and reporter for the Atlanta Objective would post a video to his Twitter account in late October of 2002. The video would feature Problem Child going live on Instagram from a jail cell, with George Cheedy tweeting, "I mean this. This is Mikel Gunn, the rapper ProblemChild5 in Fulton County Jail. P5 is a East Atlanta gangster affiliated with DTE and homicide. He's made music with Future." He would end the tweet by saying Gunn is accused of killing 5 people, with all but one of the murders occurring in that same specific year, 2019, on the heels of COVID, when the city would see that dramatic jump in the homicide rate. This is probably going to be some people's first time hearing of ProblemChild5, but if not, and you're not familiar with any of his music that we mentioned earlier, you just might be familiar with him from getting into an online spat with another person that people claim to be responsible for some of the violence going on in the city, a guy by the name of Ola Runt. Now, I won't get into that much, but the beef seems like it stemmed from the two being on rival sides, but we always know it's deeper than that. Now, in a case where we usually see police departments publish everything as far as cases with rappers, I'm not sure if it's the notoriety of ProblemChild5, but they're definitely trying to keep the parameters around this case under wraps, with some of the only information involving these 5 murders that ProblemChild5 is alleged to be responsible for being that a trail of electronic and physical evidence would connect him to those specific murders, with supposed court documents saying that the police have video of a shooting as well as cell tower records that would place his phone as well as a car linked to multiple shootings at the scene of one of the murders, with 2 rifles recovered from that specific car being linked by ballistics to 4 other specific shootings. Now, one of those in the first of those shootings would be the double murder of a 43-year-old by the name of Steve Sannon, as well as 37-year-old Denoris Clark on April 7th, 2019, with the murder scene being a Taco Bell location on the corner of Ponce de Leon and Parkway Drive, right up the street from the Ponce City Market. The next body authorities are attempting to link to him would be a 39-year-old by the name of Jovan Ladson in July of 2019 at a Citgo gas station. Authorities also believe that he's responsible for the death of a guy by the name of Chad Billingsley. Now, the 32-year-old Billingsley would end up losing his life at the Food Mart on the corner of Boulevard and North Avenue towards the end of the year in October 2019, with authorities believing that he was ambushed and fired on with one of the rifles that was located in the back seat of a green Jaguar SUV that the authorities are attempting to link ProblemChild5 and his cell phone to. Now, with Lucci pretty much just being handed 10 years and Thug still fighting on trial for his life, and pretty much the arrest of guys like Ola Runt and even ProblemChild5, it would be way too easy for Fannie Willis to say that those arrests are responsible for the murder rate or the crime rate being down 26% or so from last what I checked. But if you smart, you know that those arrests didn't stop it because they wasn't responsible for all the crime. But most of the people responsible for the crime seen exactly what happened to them. Now y'all get in the comment box. Y'all let me know if everything is safe and sound in the city of Atlanta. Y'all make sure y'all hit the red bell and subscribe button right under this video so y'all know when this real trill spill shit is dropping. Y'all get with me downstairs. Y'all let me know what cities we need to go to, what stories we need to tell, what we missed, what I got wrong, all of that. Link up directly. Instagram, Twitter, POP_A_LOT. And until the next time, y'all know how we play. It's bulletproof love. It's Shades Popalot. Salute the almighty mob.